I'm Sara Sach with Posh Pooch Designs, and today is Coffee and Crochet with Sara. I've got a new setup today, so I'm going to be able to see your comments just a little bit easier, and I'm really excited about that. The comments are on one side, and I had my other screen on the other side, and so we switched them, and so now I can look right over and see all your comments. So if you have questions, pop them out there. And they're moving really fast, and I'm so glad that you're all here. I see Tammy and Gail, Nicole, Sinead, Diana, the crazy yarn cat lady. I love that. Let's see. Beaded Wind Socks, Karen, Yarn Fix, Jane, Tina, Vivian, Rita. Rita's here today. Glad to see you, Rita. Stephanie. Now, if y'all don't know, Rita is my right-hand man in our group on Facebook. If you want to join a really fun, uplifting, and encouraging crochet group, come on over to PPD, Puppy Love Crochet. It's all uplifting, happy fun, which is exactly the way I want our YouTube videos to be. So this is our first actual Coffee and Crochet with Sara live video on YouTube. And I'm super, super duper excited about this. And I'm so excited to see all of your names and all of you tuning in today. So, as is our tradition, the first thing we're going to do is clink in. And what that means is just say clinkety clink, 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 and tell us what you're drinking today. And you know what? Someone told me the other day I never say beer. Well, I'm not someone who drinks alcohol anymore, you know, maybe in my young years, but not anymore. And so my vice is coffee. But you know what? You can drink whatever you want. I don't care. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome if you're new. Welcome if you've been here before. So let's clink in, say hello to everybody, and we'll get started. All right. Now, one of the things I wanted to talk about today is I get a question constantly. I say a question, lots of questions, about how much yarn do I need for a project? And so I've got this chart here, and I'm going to show it to you over here on our other cam. Let me move this other card out of the way. And I want to just jump right into it because it's really important. And let's click over to the other cam here. This is a chart. Let me move some of this yarn out of the way. And it has to do with your average amount or approximate amounts of yarn that you're going to need for projects. If you want this chart, you can click over to my my blog post, and I have all of my information underneath the video. Once it's done, they don't show it, of course, until after we're done with our live video, but I have my blog link, Ravelry link, Etsy link, Instagram link, Twitter link, YouTube link, wherever you want to follow me. But if you go to the one that says blog link, you can find this chart. Feel free to copy and paste the chart off. And it's really important to understand that this is approximately, because the stitch itself can change how much yarn you need. If you're doing just basic, super fine, you need about 300 yards. Scarf, that's a beanie hat. Scarf, about 650 yards. A sweater, about 3,500 yards. And a blanket, about 4,000 yards. But let's say you're doing something using medium yarn, and they're using a really thick, not thick, but a pattern stitch that is a thicker pattern. It takes more yarn. Then that 200 is not going to be enough. Because say it's like a crocodile stitch, or maybe one of those yarn eater stitches. So understand that this is just an approximation. Another thing that I wanted to address is the fact that I get questions all the time. I'm going to move this chart up out of the way and bring in these 3 yarns. Okay, and I get questions all the time. If you're using a medium weight number 4, and that's what this one is, this is just Impeccable from Michaels. can I switch and use a number 2 or a number 3 light? Number 2 would be a fine. But if you look at these two yarns, let me yank out some hair, you can see they're not the same. They're similar, but the medium weight 4 is going to be thicker than a light 3 or even a 2. And if it's stitched with a bulky 5, it's not going to be the same either. And I get that question all the time. You designed your pattern in, say, a 3 or a 4 or a 5, and these are just 3 of them I just grabbed. This is I Love This Yarn Sport Weight. This is that Bloom, and it's a chunky 5. Well, you need to keep that in mind as well when you're trying to decide how much yarn that you need for a project. Another thing to keep in mind how much yarn you need for a project is crochet hooks. All right, let's say we're doing a medium 4 and we want it to be a little bit more lacy and open. Then we might not use an H hook, which is a 5.0 millimeter. We might go ahead and use a K hook, which is a 6.5 millimeter, because we want it to be a little bit more open and lacy. And those are things to keep in mind as well. This chart is great. It gives you an approximate amount when you're out shopping. You're not sure what you're going to make, but you found some yarn that is absolutely gorgeous or perfect for what you want to do. And you're like, okay, so I've got a bulky 5. I want to make a beanie and a scarf. So if I put 150 and 350 together, these are yards, not ounces, yards, then you'll know approximately how much yarn to pick up. And so, like I said, if you want this chart, just head on over to my blog, and that blog link, you can find it everywhere. I mean, Facebook page, everywhere you go, I've got my blog link listed. And of course, underneath this video, when we're done, I'll have all those links underneath. You can just go to the blog, copy and paste that off if you want. If you want more on there, because I only have it from 1 to 6, and yarns are now 7s and 8s as well, and then there are smaller yarns as well, like threads. And so you can go online, you can do a Google search or something, and you can find other charts as well. There's one on the Crochet Guild of America that's really good, and there's also a Crochet Council, I think, that has a really good chart. And the one on Crochet Guild of America, there's a really good how much yarn do I need chart like this. And they also have really good charts on yarn weights and crochet hooks as well. And I go there a lot, but also there's tons online that you can find. All right, this one's just a small one that I put together, and some of my numbers might be a little different than others. This is just what I found works for me. All right, so, and what is it I always say, those that have followed me for a long time? Do what works best for you. Because, again, crochet is an art, and we all do things differently. And just because I do it different doesn't mean, different than you, doesn't mean you're doing it wrong or that I'm doing it wrong. We're just doing what works best for us. All right, now, the other thing I want to talk to real quick before we get in to what's new this week is I had some questions last week about these. Okay, this is the Hug This. It comes with an animal, his hands Velcro together. There are 6 different styles, and then it comes with a large skein of yarn. I was going to see on here if it tells you, there it is, 7 ounces or 200, no, that's grams. Let's see, 764 yards. There's a monkey, a dog, lamb, I think cat, bear, there's one other one. Okay, so I forgot. There are 6 different ones. Okay, now I purchased these from Hershner's 3 weeks ago in their sale, and they were $9.99 a piece. If you go to DMC, who makes these, they're $27.99 a piece. Well, this week I got my Mary Maxim catalog. I always call it a magazine, but it's a catalog. Looks like this. I love Mary Maxim, by the way. I also like the Annie's one. But in the catalog, I wanted to show you this. There they are. There's 5. Oh, there's the 6 of them. blue bear, beige dog, green monkey, pink bunny. That's the one I forgot. There's kind of a gray cat, and then the lamb with a green blanket, okay? See that? Look at the price. $14.99. Go to Mary Maxim or request the catalog, but they're only $14.99. That is it's an exceptional value at $14.99. I just happened to catch the one at Hershner's for $9.99, and I ordered 3 of them. Now, they're perfect gifts for someone who crochets and maybe is getting ready to have a grandbaby or a baby themselves, or you want to get that and make it for someone. It's a great gift. Now, as I looked on mine, all the patterns that come with them, because they do come with a written pattern, it's inside there. They all were knitting patterns, and they're all different. But don't panic if you don't want to knit it. You can crochet this. You can use any pattern that you can find. I made one for a friend of mine that just had a baby girl, and I did the C2C corner to corner block with it. It turned out beautiful. And then I got a white sport weight, and I trimmed the edge with white, and it made a really good size blanket, and it was really pretty, and they just loved it. So you can do a crochet pattern with these as well. All right. But I wanted to mention it. Someone asked me about it last week, and then I talked about it, I think 3 weeks ago. Mary Maxim in the catalog, and you could probably find it online. I didn't go online and look for it. I didn't have the time. I just got this yesterday. So it's a good deal. And you know I love to tell you about yarn bargains. All righty. Now, I am going to be heading to Michael's today. I did a little looking at Walmart. You know, we've been talking a lot about the Ogo yarn, the ones that are in a donut and they're all wound up. And I did do a pattern for it. I did the hooded cowl. And so it turned out really nice, but I sort of found that the circle, as I'm pulling it off, was a little cumbersome in my opinion. And then at Michael's, I noticed that they had the Ogo blanket yarn. Okay, so the same amount on the side counter in a regular skein was $8.99. If you get the Ogo, it was $11.99. And I said, that's a no-go for me. Okay, and so I love blanket yarn. I buy it all the time, and I make lots of fun things out of it. So I was at Walmart with my granddaughter, and she said, look at that yarn. It looks like a donut. Well, they had the Red Heart Super Saver Basic Medium Weight number 4 yarns. And on the side counter for the, I believe it was the 7 ounce. I can't remember. No, might be 3.5 ounce. Anywho, the Ogo on the side counter on the end cap was $8. For the same amount in the skein, it was $3.14. And so in my mind, I'm not really impressed with the Ogo thing. If you are, you go for it. And you get it if it works great for you. I'm not telling you not to get it. I'm going to tell you I'm not. Okay? So that's just an opinion. Okay. The other thing I wanted to mention is I've had a lot of requests for me to do videos of other people's crochet pattern designs. Okay? And let me be real clear here. I do use other people's designs for my personal use. I love Repeat Crafter's designs. I've used a lot of her patterns for gifts and things I've made for myself. But I do not do other people's designs. I feel like it's unethical unless I have permission. Now, you might find a few patterns that I have done videos that are my daughter's. And my daughter is Elizabeth Spivey of Callie's Clips and Crochet Creations. She has an Etsy shop where she makes cuddle capes and all kinds of baby items. That's her thing, baby items. And she's been doing that since my granddaughter, who is now 12 and a half, was a newborn baby. Okay, and she's been doing lots of those items. And there's a few, I have a few of her patterns that we've collaborated on and I've done a little video of. But for the most part, I do not do other people's video or other people's crochet patterns. And a lot of them that I was getting questions about are people that do YouTube channels. If there's a pattern that somebody else has done and you don't understand it, oh, by all means, go ask that designer. They will help you understand it or show you if they have a video. And if they haven't done a video and there's someone who does do videos, then they can mark that down. One thing that's real important to understand is it takes a long time just to do one video tutorial. Let me give you an example of that, and that is these hats that are right behind me. The video I released yesterday, the fun silly wig. Okay, here's the one. Hang on, I dropped some. I'm back. The one that we did in the video was this one. Okay, this is just a fun silly wig. I designed this pattern 7 years ago. My friend, if you know her, her name is Claire. She does Bob Wilson 123. She's from Australia. She did a video of this hat with my permission about 5 or 6 years ago. And so I decided it was time for me to do my own because I wasn't doing videos when she did this one. All right. So this hat is all stitched in single crochet in the back loop only. And the video itself, I think, is maybe 34 minutes long, not very long. But to film the video, it took me 4 hours. And that was having some of it done. Like I had a section done and then the next section done so that I could move on to the next section. Okay. The hat itself would probably make you individually might take you 4 hours to make because it is all done in single crochet. But I love the look of it. Okay, that's just the filming of it. Then there's picture editing, video editing, music editing. And if you all don't know this, my husband is a great musician. He writes all the music for all my videos. I have a whole collection that he calls Sara's Songs. And I'll tell him I want something different. I want something happy. I want something minor. And he'll write it and perform it. He plays all kinds of wind instruments and the piano and stringed instruments. Of course, the piano is a stringed instrument. And so he does all the music that is on my YouTube. But I always have to edit it because he makes them long. I edit it around and stuff like that. And so to do a video just for this hat, it takes about 24 hours. So just so when you send me a message that says, can you whip this up real quick? Even if it's this big, the answer is going to be not real quick. Just a little FYI. All right, let me take a quick coffee break here. And you know what else that a lot of people don't realize is when you're uploading something to YouTube, like a video like that, it's not instantaneously. I get people all the time that go, well, you said you were going to release this at 10 and it's now 10:30 and it's not on there. Okay. Sometimes, depending on the length of the video, it can take a couple hours to get loaded onto YouTube because YouTube has all their special checks to make sure everything is correct as far as being kind and nice and not using inappropriate language or inappropriate things and things like that. So they do what's called safety checks. And so that takes time as well. So just a little more FYI. You know, the thing about my YouTube channel that is so important to me is that I want to keep it uplifting. I want to keep it happy. I want every single person I've ever met in this whole world to crochet. And all the ones I haven't as well. I want everybody to love yarn, to crochet, knit, do crafts. Because to me, that's one of the best things in the world. And it's helped me with healing, you know, emotionally and physically, you know, healing. All right, we talked about the hat that we did yesterday, and I love, this one's for me. This is my Halloween costume, so you might see it in a future video on me. All right, now, another thing I wanted to mention for those that haven't watched my videos before is that when I show you a crochet pattern on our Coffee and Crochet with Sara podcast, these are videos, patterns that I have videos released that week on YouTube. Sometimes they're an update and sometimes they're an original release. Like this hat, I wrote it, you know, back, I think it was 2014, and now we made a video for it. We didn't have a video by me before. Okay, now there'll also be, under every single one of my videos in that description box, a link. And in that link, it'll take you to the blog where I have the pattern all written out, and I try to do about 10 or 12 pictures so that you can see it as well. And I do this because some people, even though they're watching the video, they like a picture. or they like to follow along on the written pattern. And some people aren't even into videos and they want the written pattern. And so that way I can reach a lot of different people and get them crocheting even more. All right, the other thing we did, excuse my cough there, is on Friday we did the awareness ribbon angel wings, or with wings. And originally I did this because my mom passed away from breast cancer. It's been about 6 years now. And in remembrance of my mom. And it's a really nice little ribbon. We added the angel wings and some beads. And you can do it that way, or you can just, I've got this other one I was going to show you. This one is the pin that I wear. It doesn't have the top on it, and you can make it just in angel wings. And then I'm showing you this one because you can do it in any colors that you want. If you have a pet that passed away, maybe they had a blue collar. You love that blue collar on them. Make it in blue in remembrance of your dog. Put a little dog bone or dog paw. If you have a friend that passed away, say from a heart attack or an unexpected aneurysm or anything nowadays, COVID or whatever, someone passed away, you love them and you want to remember them, make it in their favorite colors with the angel wings. The other thing is, these are great to give to people who are fighting cancer, who are fighting illness. And I've said this over and over again, it's really difficult to know what to say. You're hurting along with your friend or your loved one, but you don't know what to say. You can maybe make them a gift basket or a card and slip this in there. And this is a way to say that I'm caring about you. I love you. I am right there with you. If you need me, call me, and I'm praying for you. And it's just a way of being an encouragement to others. You can make these for people that are loving those that are hurting, for those who are hurting, and even for yourself. They're great. They're just a fun, easy little way to do that. It makes a nice Christmas ornament. I think it would be super fun. The other thing is, you don't have to add the wings if you don't want to. You can just make the ribbon. And I show you all this. This was from last Friday's video. And I show you all this. I just dropped the pink one, so I'll show you the darker one. And you don't have to add the beads. And you can always add a bead that, if that person was someone who loved to ride horses or loved horses, put a little horse button on there. Or someone who loves yarn and crochet like we do, you can put a little sheep or a little piece of a little yarn button or bead or whatever that you want. Personalize them for whatever you're going to use them for. They don't have to be used for breast cancer awareness. I know I got a couple of mentions about, because I said domestic abuse, and these are a good way to put together, like a gift bag or something for kids, for our parents that are going through hard times of any kind. Leave a note with your phone number and tell them to call you anytime. That's the whole purpose of something like this, encouraging others and loving others. All right, let me pick up my pink ribbon again. I'm back again. All right, the other thing that we did was last Wednesday, it was kind of funny because I had a request for a round washcloth. And I have a washcloth that's similar to this that I've done in the past. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool just to do it in some Halloween colors? And so I did this nice big bright one as our demonstration. And then this one is more muted colors. And as I was designing this, I thought, doesn't that look like the witch's skirt? And so I called it the witch's skirt washcloth. And I love these because they're not great big. They're a great size for cleaning up the kitchen. If you have guests come over, say excuse me, 2 seconds. Guests coming over and you want to use this as a doily, you can put a little bowl of candy on it and it works just fine. Perfect little Halloween colors. And the truth is, you can make these in any colors. You could use your fall colors, your Christmas colors, whatever your decorations in your house colors are, and these would be perfect for little doilies or guest washcloths. And I want to show you one other thing. You can take it like this and you can roll it up and it looks like a cute little rose and it makes a nice gift. You can tie a ribbon around it or another piece of yarn that matches. And if you have a guest and you want to thank them for visiting, give them one of these. I love to do stuff like this when we travel. and leave gifts like that for other people. Little note, this isn't lost. This is for you. You know, because when we travel, I always like to take some cotton yarn with me and just keep my hands busy. I don't crochet in the car. And that's because I always get car sick. I don't know. I can't read in the car. I cannot look at magazines in the car. I cannot crochet in the car. Now I can roll a ball of yarn in the car though. So anyway, and one of the things you'll find out if you don't know me, I love to do things that are versatile. I love to do things that you can make, different things out of. Like this doily, it can be any colors. You can roll it into a ribbon, or not a ribbon, but a bow, a rose. And I just really like to do that sort of thing. Okay, now, just a quick review of how the week goes, if you don't know. Monday is usually a new release tutorial. Tuesday, today, is our live video. And either Wednesday or Thursday, depending on which day I have my granddaughter, usually it's Wednesday, that I'll put out another tutorial. But if I have my granddaughter on Wednesday, I'll do it on Thursday. Okay, and one or the other. And then on Friday, we do what's called Friday Fun Day. And I like this because it's something new we started the middle of summer. And I was just going to do it for summer to do some smaller items. But it's just been so much fun because we've done lots of different things. And that's when we did the angel, the awareness angel, that what I just showed you. Now this Friday, we're going to do some ghosts. Okay, so, and you're not going to do any crocheting, but you do need some white yarn. Okay, so we're going to be using some more of our little beads. And you only need 3 per ghost. So it depends on how many ghosts you want to make. All right, these will be fun just to hang around the house for, Halloween and decorating. So Friday Fun Day, get you some white yarn or some off-white yarn or whatever color ghosts you want to make. Green, pink, purple, doesn't matter to me. Get your yarn stash, see what you got. When I say yarn stash, I always point like that because over there I have this huge basket where I cake my yarn up that's left over and they're just sitting over there. And I'm like, Okay, now, the yarn for Friday, it doesn't matter what weight you use, but it will determine how big your ghost is. So, get in your yarn stash, pull out, 1 through 6 yarns that's white or whatever color you want to make your ghost, and some beads that you can slide onto that yarn, and we'll make some ghosts on Friday. It'll be a lot of fun. I know last Friday Fun Day was a little heavy because we talked about caring for others and stuff, and there's nothing wrong with that. We need to do that. But I want this Friday to be fun, okay? So we're going to have some fun on Friday. So that's all I've got for you today. Just a reminder, all the patterns that we've talked about are on YouTube. Go check out my playlists. I have them categorized with like Christmas or kitchen and bath, hats and headbands, scarves and cowls, table runners, all kinds of different types of playlists that you can find. And just have some fun. Go look through it, see if there's something that you like. I get a lot of questions like, do you have this or do you have that? And just search through there and find whatever. I have so many now. I started my YouTube channel probably 5 years ago, 4.5 years ago. And the videos I did at the very beginning, I was just basically talking about my videos or talking about my patterns. I wasn't doing YouTube tutorials. And so now I'm doing YouTube tutorials, and we've changed the setup since the beginning. And I guess what I'm saying is if you look at a lot of those really old videos, just laugh with me and say, good job, you've learned from those. Because it has to be a learning experience, right? Alrighty, so I am going to let you go on that. I have determined where the end button is. Last week when we did our test, I'm like, where is the turn off button? Alrighty, so I'm going to let you go. I just want to remind you how thankful I am that you watch my videos because I can't do this without all of you. I'll see you all next week. Bye-bye now.